If you're only using your KitchenAid mixer for the occasional batch of cookies or cake, you are missing out. There is so much more that this powerful, small appliance can do. I'm Shelly with Art for My Table, and I help you bring the people that you love around the table by giving you delicious and approachable recipes. Today I'm sharing with you all the things that you can do with the paddle attachment on your KitchenAid mixer. The KitchenAid mixer is good for beginner, intermediate, and advanced cooks. It's a durable machine that will last you for years. As you can see, mine is not the latest model, but it works just as well today as it did when it was new. It's meant to be used often, so don't put this baby in the corner. Give it a prominent, easily accessible place in your kitchen. The stand mixer comes with 3 attachments. There's the paddle attachment, the whisk attachment, and the dough hook. Today we're focusing on the paddle attachment. I will show you in another video how to use the other attachments. To attach the paddle, line up this post with the opening in the paddle attachment, and then push it and turn to the right, and that will secure it. When you're finished, push it in, turn it the opposite direction, and release it. You're probably already using the KitchenAid for the obvious reasons: cakes, cookies, brownies, and other baked goods. First, I'll tell you why this works so well on those, and then I'll share with you some other creative ways to use the paddle attachment. Paddle attachment mixes ingredients without getting too much air in them. The mixer comes with 10 speeds, and each of those are designed to give you the right amount of power for what you're making. Higher speeds for making cakes, frosting, and creaming butter and sugar together. Lower speeds are great for incorporating thicker ingredients thoroughly and gently, such as cookies. Many baked goods should not be overmixed. With the proper speed and attachment, you are set up for success. Let's talk about some more creative ways to use this attachment. Mashed bananas. When you have a bunch of overly ripe bananas, that is the perfect time to make a big batch of banana bread. Just mash the bananas with your paddle attachment, then add the additional ingredients for the banana bread and mix it all up just on the stir setting. Speaking of bananas, you can also mash other fruit. Strawberries for shortcake or pancake topping, other berries for jam, or even peaches. Pie crust. Cutting butter in has never been easier. Once you have your coarse crumbs, you can slowly add your water until it comes together. Anything you need to cut butter into works great, like scones, biscuits, homemade tortillas, the topping for fruit crumbles or fruit crisps. Granola. The mixer does a great job of incorporating the wet and dry ingredients very evenly. If you like to make things from scratch, you can also use it to make homemade brown sugar. Guacamole. If I'm just mashing up a couple of avocados, I typically will do a fork. But if I'm serving guac to a crowd, this really cuts down on my time. Dips like spinach and artichoke dip, or cheesy dips like when you mix the cream cheese and spices together, whether they're sweet or savory. Mixing it in the stand mixer takes all the arm work out for you. And speaking of cheese, why not mix your cheese ball ingredients together in here as well? Stuffing or filling. Now, I'm not talking about Thanksgiving stuffing. I'm talking about mixing up the stuff that you stuff into other things, like stuffed mushrooms, stuffed shells, lasagna, even cheesecake filling. Flavored butter. To make herbed butter for steak or bread, just put the ingredients into the KitchenAid and let the paddle mix it up for you. You can also do the same thing with fruit butter. You can do butter and raspberries to make a raspberry butter, or you can use blueberries, and that's great on top of pancakes or waffles. Mashed potatoes. When I make mashed potatoes, it's usually a relatively large batch. Most of the time I will use the paddle attachment. You can also use the whisk attachment for making whipped mashed potatoes if you want that lighter texture of more airy, but for traditional mashed potatoes, the paddle works great. Mixing meat. Making meatloaf, meatballs, or burgers has never been easier. Shredding cooked chicken. Having a big batch of shredded chicken in my freezer gives me all kinds of options. I like to poach mine or cook it sous vide style, but you can also boil it, or if you've cooked it in the crock pot and the recipe calls for you to shred it afterwards, that works just as well. The key is you want to make sure that the chicken is hot or warm, because then it will break down easier. You can use the same concept with shredding beef or shredding pork. Mixing peanut butter. Now, this one some of you are really gonna like, and others might think that this is not the best idea. But you can actually mix your peanut butter up in here. So when you buy natural peanut butter, it usually has a layer of oil on the top. So if you dump the whole jar of peanut butter into your stand mixer, then you can mix it all up so it's incorporated, and then you can put it back in your peanut butter jar and then store it in the fridge. Once it's stored in the fridge, it won't separate like that. Personally, I prefer to use just one beater of a hand mixer to mix up my peanut butter. I think that works better and it's less to clean, but it is an option that you have. And so I just thought it was worth mentioning. And there you have it, a whole bunch of creative ways to put your KitchenAid to work. For more recipes to be made with or without your KitchenAid stand mixer, be sure to visit artformytable.com. To stay up to date on the latest videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. See you next time.